Hey Craig, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey Chris, we're just trying this out for today. I think I'm going to try and go live tomorrow, but I wanted to figure out how to make it work. Bracken's here too. Yeah, this is just supposed to be a test. Never done it before. Try and get into this big cherry tree. Stump, and it works just that quick. That one's a little heavy. Next to the fence line and all the logs out here where I can get them. So, it's a heck of a cherry tree to be taking home later. Is it working better now? Alright, yeah, it looks like my signal is a little low down on this end of the field. see about that. I think what we're going to do is go live tomorrow morning, probably, once I get the skid loader lined up. I may start on the other end of the field here. It's kind of up on a hill. It might be better service up there. I'll kind of check it out before the end of the day here, but I'm going to keep working on this end, and I figured out how to go live, so we'll try again tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys. Said keep going, so hard to operate the skid loader and read your comments at the same time. Big old down tree that was down last year, and now it's in the way. Careful about the dang window. I've only broke 3 or 4 of these since I've owned this tree shear. Attachment, if that's what you're referring to, yeah, it's I've had it for quite a while, and I think it was $10,000 when I bought it. They're a lot more now, though. What I like about this shear is that you can not only cut it, but you can grab onto it, just like I'm doing now. I can get it moved out of here. And you can't do that with like a saw. And like, you could get a forestry mulcher, but this isn't an area where you'd want to use a forestry mulcher because the fence and you know, it's a field edge. It's where all the rocks got put for the last 150 years, and just it's not really a good spot for a forestry mulcher. So I really like this tree shear, and you can see like the corn is standing right in front of me here. It's because the combine can't get under these trees. So nice little mulberry tree there. Anything, I don't know if I said it already or not, but anything that's saving for firewood to haul home, I kind of lay out so that it, when I get some time or when it gets warm enough, I can come and run the chainsaw, cut the good part of the logs off, and then I can pile all the brush up and we'll burn it at a later date. Some of these trees are awfully tall, and the tree shear makes pretty quick work of them. Little elm tree. Sorry about that. Yeah, mulberry grows all over. The only thing that really grows faster and more is box elder. You get lots of box elder, but... And actually, you guys might think I'm crazy, but walnut grows like crazy here too. One thing I wish this tree shear had is Sometimes I wish it had the arms that would close in and hold the log or hold the tree. So you got to watch, kind of got to look at how these trees are angled before you cut them off, because you don't want to drop them right on the cab. The bulkhead does a pretty good job of not rolling them away from the cab, but every once in a while I have one tip right straight over the cab, and then you got back out from underneath it. It's not real good for the skid loader. Up to 20 inches in diameter, so you can get pretty healthy logs at 20 inches in diameter. Some of the harder woods you need to kind of get at a couple different angles. You can get them cut down, but you got to go at a couple different angles at them. Box elder, you can pretty much cut right through. Walnuts are pretty much the same, but you get into the elms especially, then you gotta get a couple different angles. Yeah, both of those last two are pretty good sized box elders. Probably about 12 inches or so. Makes it pretty easy. Really. Lines is that a lot of box elder, and I'm not against some box elder, but at some point I just don't need to save it all. My skid steer is a 2011 L225 New Holland, 2,500 pound lift. It's only got like 1,500 hours on it, but I had it rented out to a local farm. Actually, back when I worked there, and they had some Hispanic help. And they didn't check the oil for the 3 weeks they had it, and they blew the motor on it. So even at 1,500 hours, it's got a fresh reman motor in it. That was not my favorite time. I was pretty stressed out about that, but they stepped up to the plate and helped me with it quite a bit. I haven't rented it out since because I don't want that to happen again. I'm sure there's a rental agreement that would protect you from that, but I didn't have one. I was just a agreement between friends, I guess. This is I don't know, 10-inch walnut, and I'm going right down to the ground with it, and I'm starting to cut right now. And just that fast. Try my best to keep everything behind me as I'm working toward the north on this fence line, and I try and keep everything toward the south of me. So when I pull out trees or brush, I kind of push everything to the south to keep it free and clean to the north where I'm working. Lightsaber battle sounds fun, Craig. My kids are gone for the weekend, so my wife is too, so I get to do a bunch of this. Honeysuckle here, whatever it is, kind of just put it along the ground and it pulls it right out by the roots, see? So that stuff's pretty easy to handle. Line this up, watch you guys actually watch it cut. So, not a real big tree. like that. Hey, Jason. Jeremiah's here. Jeremiah, this started out as just being a test run on the live. I was going to go tomorrow morning, but these guys said keep going, so we're going. Probably till my phone dies or something, I don't know. Hey, Heath. Yeah, that last one was a nice straight tree. feel pretty bad about doing this, so I got to go to work every day of the week. At some point, my dad's going to come down here and do most of the burning on this, and you know, I can cut for about 4 hours with this tree shear and have enough brush to burn for 10. So there's going to be a pretty big fire at some point. I'll help him with it on the weekends when I can, but if I was going to do this for a business, I'd seriously consider having a wood chipper here to make it a lot easier to clean up. And it's snowing a lot more than I expected. That's for sure. When I'm running the tree shear, I got chains on the skid loader pretty much all the time. Sometimes on the bigger trees, especially as you close the jaws, it wants to kind of push you out of the tree. So I figure having the chains on, even without much snow, really helps keep you into the log when you're cutting. So. Hey Derek, thanks for stopping in. Hey Tim. Almost up to 10 people watching. I didn't, this was started out as I asked one person to watch. I asked one person to watch because we wanted to just test out the settings and stuff. But if you guys want to be here, I'll keep going. So I'm cutting above here. There's a fence right in front of me down below that you can't see. I'm trying not to drive on that. And this box elder reaches way out over the side. So we're cutting it off above our head here. three strands off of there altogether. If you're asking me, we got, I don't know, there's probably 3 or 4 inches on the ground, but it's come an inch at a time in the last few days. I think they're calling for possibly another inch today. 7 to 12, Tim, I don't need that. I'd be okay if we didn't have much more this year. I don't mind, as cold as it's going to be here this week, I don't mind that we have some snow, but I'm kind of over the plowing snow this year. Jeremiah, you got a nice snowplow on that truck. Why? Get this plow snow when you're nice and warm. I did a bunch of commercial plowing in Madison and Wanakee and stuff for a lot of years, or several years, not a lot of years, but I'm kind of over that part of my life. I don't mind doing it at home or whatever, but I'm not going to be running no plow truck for anybody else anymore. Thanks for stopping by, Derek. trying to open up. There's a really nice cherry tree right in there. Thanks for stopping in, Chris. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow morning yet. I haven't made up my decision if I'm going to do it again. See the fence, but the fence is actually looks like it might be growing into the back side of that cherry at the bottom. And that cherry, the bottom of the cherry is probably too big for my tree shear. But what we're going to be able to do is go up and cut the limbs off. But we gotta make sure we know which way they're falling. Line fence. Sure, if that's what you want to call it. Thanks for stopping in, Tim. What are you up to today? That is a really nice cherry log that I just got down. Look at that. Oh. For what I'm thinking it is there, you reckon? A pickup or a delivery coming your way? closer to work here than I am at home, so. Stopping in. I'm not 100% sure where that's gonna go. This is a nice solid cherry, so I gotta hit this one twice. And then it looks like it's going the wrong way. It kind of tipped down over my skid loader, and now it's hung up. So we gotta move this brush out of the way and go to the other side. Yeah, man, it really is. It's really versatile too, because I'm sure most of you have probably seen that I use it as a tree shear or as a wood splitter sometimes too. Look at the size of that cherry tree we just cut off. Now get a look at the whole thing. That whole thing we just cut off. of us on call in here. I'm on call for work as well. Luckily, I'm not there though. Hey, Britt, I think if you're still here, I think it's pretty cool what your real job is. My mom was a nurse in a hospital in a post anesthesia care for her entire career. She's retired last 2 or 3 years, but after I run this shear for a while and get these logs laid out, I'll come back and I'll measure and cut everything into length to get into the dump trailer. And then I'll haul that stuff home. All the brush gets piled up and burned at some point before the crops go in. I wanted to start a fire today so that I could burn tomorrow, but it's too damn windy. I've said it early on, but I bring all the logs that are worth it for firewood. I bring them out away from the fence line, all the brush, and I bring them all trunks out first. That way I can come along here with the chainsaw, get everything in, all the logs that I want, and then the brush is near the fence line to get cleaned up in the future. The more I drag stuff out, the more cleanup has to be done farther out into the field. So I try and keep everything close to the edge of the field. And then I also keep everything behind me. So I'm working to the north along this edge of this field. So I keep everything south of me while I'm working so that I can continue to move down. So, see you, Matt. Thanks for stopping by. So these fence lines, southern Wisconsin, typically every fence line, it's box elder, walnut, cherry, and mulberry. There's very few of anything else. The mulberry and box elder grow anywhere and everywhere, and you can't just tip a box elder over. If you tip a box elder over and leave it in log form on the edge of the field, you're going to get 10 more box elder trees. They'll sprout right from the trunk. So that's why everything's got to either be burned, or in the future, like I said, I'd like to have possibly a chipper to help the cleanup purposes. think I saw Carl Lewis and Larry in here, so thanks for checking in. Like we're down to 3 guys. I think we'll call her quits for now. And I guess as long as the skid loader starts in the morning, I'll plan to go live in the morning again. That was my original plan, to go live in the morning anyway. So, yeah, set this tree down and then I think we'll call her quits. So thanks for stopping in, everybody. Hi, Bill. Well, we're going to shut this down, so we're going to pick it up tomorrow morning. So. If I can figure out how to get out of here. Thanks, Brett.